All right, for tonight's homework, I'm going to start with page 14, do problems 1 through 4, and then I'm going to do page 16 through 17, 8 through 17. All right, this first problem here says the y is less than x. So I'm just going to use a couple numbers, like maybe 8 for y and 10 for x, and then see what happens when I subtract them. The other ones I'm just going to solve and then compare. So here we go. All right, this problem is just showing you if y is less than x, then subtracting x minus y will always be bigger than subtracting y minus x. So again, I use a couple examples. I use 8 for y, 10 for x. 8 is less than 10. So then I use those numbers to see what happened when I subtracted 10 minus 8. I got 2. And when I subtracted y minus x, and I get negative 2. So x minus y is bigger. Next one, I'm going to try to solve and then compare. So this one I solved for x, and I got x are all numbers larger than 5, and it has you compare. So it says, which is bigger? Is x bigger or is 5 bigger? And x is bigger because the answer for x are all numbers bigger than 5. So x is bigger than 5. All right, same for number 3 and 4. All right, on number 3, when I solved it, took away 10 on both sides, and then I divided both sides by negative 2, which flipped it around. So x are all numbers bigger than 2, and yes, that is bigger than 2. The last one is the only one that's a little bit different there. I divided both sides by 4, and I got the answer is x Are all numbers less than or equal to 0? And it has you compare which is bigger, 1 or x. 1 is bigger for that one because x are all numbers less than 1, so 1 would not be the answer. So for this problem, what I did, I plugged in negative 10 in for x into that inequality and see what happened. When I plugged in negative 10 times 6 is negative 60 minus 4 gives me negative 64. Yes, negative 64 is less than 28. So yes, x equal negative 10 is part of the solution set. All right, next one. All right, that one is a yes too. When I plugged in 1, that gave me 3 minus 5, which is negative 2. Negative 2 is larger than negative 5. Remember, the smaller the negative number, the bigger it really is. So yes, that is part of the solution set. 1 will work. All right, now to solve the others and write interval notation. So that first one I solved for x by taking away 9, gave me x is less than or equal to negative 2. Remember that inequality would not switch there. And then that answer is everything less than or equal to negative 2. The arrow shaded to the left, solid circle. Interval notation would be from negative infinity to negative 2, square bracket. The second one, the 13th problem, the last step there I divided by negative 3. That step flips your inequality. Whenever you're dividing or multiplying by a negative number, flip that inequality around. So it goes from being more than to the final answer being x is less than negative 2. That would be an open circle on negative 2. Shaded to the left, interval notation from negative infinity rounded to negative 2 rounded. All right, so for those final problems, the 15th one, I multiply both sides by positive 5. That would not switch my inequality. And I know negative 15 tenths is a little tricky, but that is negative 1.5. 16, I divide by negative 10, which switches my inequality. So that one will be x less than negative 15. And then the last one, I'm multiplying by negative 7. That also switches your inequality around. So that answer is x less than or equal to 35. All right, good luck. I'm here every day at lunch or break if you need help.